what are you doing here? Like, why are you here?
Why are you here? Like, what? What is the goal?
What is the point?
There's no answer.
There's no answer. And I think that's what we're meant to believe.
Hey, Courtney.
Yes.
The universe called.
Oh, what did they say?
They said, it's time to dream.
Oh, what
Not... Let's start over. I was going to say something else.
No, okay, let's start over.
Okay. Hey, Courtney. Hey, Courtney, the universe called.
What did they say?
It's time to dream. And not just the kind while you're sleeping, but the kind all the time.
I love it.
Welcome, everybody, to Pisces season.
Hello.
We're wearing, if you're watching, you can see we're wearing Pisces outfits. See, like, Courtney is the ocean, and I am the water.
I am under the sea.
You didn't know that you were going to show up and go into a dream state.
Darling, it's better. Down where it's wetter. Take it from me.
What's that from?
The Little Mermaid.
At first I was like, is that some kind of dirty poem? Like, the way that you said it was, like, not how I was expecting. So I was like, what is that poem? Naughty.
Oh my God. It does kind of sound actually.
Now it's wetter. I gotta get my head out of the gutter.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Actually, it does, though. You're right.
Disney was nasty.
For sure.
Like,
for sure. And with Sebastian's, like, accent, too, it was like, yeah.
Accent? There was also, like, the thing where you could, I don't know if we're going to keep this or not, where you could, like, find the erections that, like, the priest had. And like,
I do
like,
remember
little
that. I do
naughty
remember
things.
that. I do remember that. Yeah, yeah. No, I've watched The Little Mermaid in the past year over 100 times easily. Over 100 times.
Wow. Wait, new or old?
Old. New one I've seen only a couple, but old because animation. Like, she's all about the animation.
Yeah.
But, like, many, many times. I mean, it holds up. It's still a good one.
I grew up obsessed with it. So
I really like The Little Mermaid, I have to say.
And speaking of which, I mean, we are really, mermaid is Pisces.
It absolutely is Pisces.
And, like, when I think of, like, a yoga pose, even though I will say Pisces rules the feet, which is interesting because it's, like, thought of, as a mermaid fin. Pisces rules the feet, but it's, like, mermaid pose. I always teach mermaid during Pisces season.
I get it. That's actually great. That feels very appropriate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of like, well, first of all, what do you think of when you think about Pisces?
Pisces. Okay, well, it is a mutable water. So mutable, the modalities, there's cardinal, mutable, and fixed. Cardinal starts the season. So it is the one that begins the new season.
Like, it sets the tone.
It sets the tone. Mutable, fixed is the middle. So it's what's the stabilizer. It's like, it's the sustainer. Yeah. It's like, well, I even think of, like, kind of like the creator, the sustainer, and the destroyer, almost, like, those three.
Interesting.
Right? But it's like the stabilizer. Fixed. And then mutable, it's like, all right, let's pack up and get ready to move out because the new season is coming in.
We gotta break it down.
Break it down. So it's really it's like a lot of movement. It is okay with change. I think mutable is really the modality that is probably the most okay with change because it kind of has to be in a way. So I think Pisces is like fluid. It's like, oh, we're moving up here and we're moving up here.
Yeah, you ever try to have a conversation with a Pisces?
It's like, oh, there's something over here and something over here.
And they're just like, I don't know, whatever. I was thinking about doing this later, but who knows? I'm like, wait, you're moving to Italy?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. It's the fishes. So I just think of like underwater and also very connected to like the spirit world.
Yes.
And it's the end of the zodiac too,
Yeah,
right?
this is like, okay, so even though, you know, in what calendar do we have? Gregorian?
The Gregorian. It sounds
Gregorian.
so ugly. The Gregorian calendar.
Who chose that name?
I mean,
the name of the calendar we're in is like January 1st is the beginning of the year, but in astrology and the zodiac wheel, Aries is the beginning. So Pisces, we are at the end of the year. And so like when you're at the end of the wheel, like that is the one that is the most kind of spiritually in line.
the wisest maybe, because it's gathered all the information from the like in the entire cycle, if you will.
Oh my God, I just had some thought. Like, you know how everything was like born out of water, like that's alive on this planet, and it's like everything, all the life on this planet started in the water. It's like the thing where everything comes out of all the life. I don't know, just a thought. So Pisces is all encompassing. That's it.
Yeah.
That's the thought.
I love that. It's a great thought. I mean,
And stop.
It is. I mean, really, it is. I mean, I think also it feels very like otherworldly in a way.
And not in the way like Aquarius is.
No. Not in the way of the Aquarius is. Because for me, it's like Aquarius feels like otherworldly, like out here, whereas Pisces feels otherworldly, like down here. I mean, traditionally, it's ruled by Jupiter, just like Sagittarius, but in modern astrology, it's ruled by Neptune, which is like, you know, the water god or whatever.
Which is like the dream planet.
It's totally it's the illusion or disillusion, you know. Mint.
No, I don't know.
No, yeah. I mean, yeah.
All of
but
it.
it's yeah. So it's like I think of it's like otherworldly, of like just like the unknown is what I mean. But like, because there's so much we don't know about what's under there, what's underwater,
What's
deep down there. You know, there's so much that we don't know. In the same way that there's so much that we don't know about what's out there. But it feels different because it feels like there's this like. I mean, it's magical.
It's magical.
It's magical.
I agree. It's Piscean energy is magical energy.
It is magical.
So, okay. So it's mutable water. We're saying it's dreamlike. We're saying it's fish-like. Anything else that we kind of connect to Pisces?
You know, I am a Pisces moon.
She has a Pisces moon.
I do have a Pisces moon.
How does that show up for you?
Well, this kind of shit right here. This shit right here.
Like the podcast.
I mean, literally just like these kind of conversations. I mean,
Yeah.
like I think my Pisces moon and my Scorpio rising lend themselves to, I am very unafraid to dig deep.
Yeah. And get curious.
And to get curious about what lies underneath, and to get curious about the spirit world and the kind of the magic that might be existing right here among us, you know, like, and I think that is very Piscean.
It's exciting in a way.
I mean, yeah.
Like, it's kind of like, because I feel like it's like when we connect to the magic of something, like, remember when you were a kid and like you would come up with things that were magical and imaginative and play?
Yeah.
And I sort of feel like this lends itself to that a little bit.
Absolutely.
There's like a lot of possibility.
Yeah, absolutely. As an adult, that Pisces moon energy, because as a child, it is encouraged or it is supported generally, right, depending on your upbringing, I guess, and your environment, the play and the work of imagining. As one becomes an adult, it's not as accepted or it's not as encouraged.
Yeah.
And I think that what can get a little bit, you know, tricky about the Pisces is that you have to find ways to kind of escape in your own way. And the danger of the Pisces, is like finding not so healthy ways of escaping.
Right.
And I will say that Pisces can tend to lean
You just say it.
towards substances.
Yes.
Because it is a way to kind of like escape. Because you don't have these more like playful ways of escaping. So it's like, oh, well, let me just grab a drink, or let me just grab a substance, or whatever, or have sex, or whatever.
Whatever it is for you.
So I think that like it's really important for someone with Pisces placements to just be mindful of the ways that we imagine and express, and how we dream, how we if we do need to escape, and that's okay, right? But how we choose to do that and be really intentional about that.
Yeah, I love that. Speaking of which, I feel like it could also be a great time to tap into your yoga practice,
For sure.
to your meditation, which I guess it brings us to the thing that we were kind of talking about with Pisces, which is the surrender to, or the connection to something bigger than yourself. And that's kind of something that helps you kind of stay connected to your own practice.
Rooted. Because I think that like specifically, because we're not just dealing with the Pisces, with being in Pisces season with the sun being in Pisces, but we're also dealing with the Pisces new moon. So it's really heightened Pisces energy right now.
Pisces AF.
Yeah. Pisces AF, as they would say. And again, I think what can happen is we can want to escape in this Pisces like energy, and also the world is fucked up.
Yeah, like we want to escape. Like everybody I know wants to like hide.
Like whether you have Pisces or not, it's like, get me the fuck out of here.
Yeah, like bye.
Like what can I do? Like let me just hide.
Under the sea.
Like what can I do? Like whether it be a drink or just like putting my head under the water until this shit is over. Like what the fuck? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so like you're saying, like I think this is a really, really important time to lean on or turn towards those really healthy practices, like our yoga practice, our meditation practice, connecting to the things that are going to really keep us rooted and connected to something bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, like, I mean, even in there, I feel like having space for play. Like, whatever that means for you.
Yeah.
Maybe that's writing something. Maybe that's taking a ceramics class. Maybe that's just, I don't know, watching a TV show.
Yeah.
Which I feel like watching TV is very Piscean.
Oh, it totally
like,
is.
Because you're just in their world.
Yeah. And again, it's a kind of a way to escape, but it's intentional. And I think that's the important word, is that like it is intentional. And I'm not saying like you have to like be like sober, but like be intentional about it. Like, I love a cocktail. Like, I know that you don't drink, but like, I love a cocktail, but like intentionality around like,
absolutely.
What am I doing? Oh, this is
Why
delicious.
Am I doing
like,
it?
yeah, like,
what am I
savoring? What is the purpose? What is the experience that I'm having while I'm having the experience, rather than just doing it just to like black out or whatever.
Yeah. Or being, I mean, I sort of think about it as like being reactive, like being reactive and being like reaching for something, which can be done not even just with substances.
Yeah, with
right?
anything. With anything.
And
absolutely.
I mean, last month I was teaching a lot about how much yoga gives us space to pause, giving us a little bit of time to slow down our reaction to things so that we can go, oh, what am I feeling right now? What do I think about this? And then responding. I do feel like you can use that, like you're saying, for anything.
Yeah.
And going back to intention behind things, I also feel like having an intention behind just anything that we're doing.
Yeah.
Even it's like, picking up your phone, which honestly, like I'm going to get a flip phone. I'm going to get a flip phone this year.
I don't think they sell those anymore.
I know. Everybody is deleting their social.
I know they are.
It's inspiring.
Yeah, I mean, I barely get on there anyway.
Yeah, you're good.
I'm really not on there except for obviously this now, but I'm not really on there for my own personal.
You don't scroll.
I'm not a scroller.
Wow, gosh, that's so good.
Yeah.
Because I feel like it broke my brain a little bit, like in a way that I don't. Here we are, therapy 101.
Yeah.
But I do feel like, it did affect. It is something that I'll reach towards when I like want to escape a little bit and be like, I don't want to feel that.
Yeah. I think that like that's fair. And I think that that's very normal and very common. You're not alone.
I am original.
You are the only person who's scrolling.
Person experiencing
Natalie is the only person who's scrolling, guys. She's the only one who's scrolling. No, I think that you're not alone in that. And so I wouldn't beat yourself up. I wouldn't judge yourself about it at all. And I think it's just about kind of like a reprogramming. I honestly don't think it's going to be one of those things of like, I'm just never going to touch it again. In yoga, my teacher would often talk about like when we are looking to detach from something, one of the most effective ways to do that is to add something in so that thing that you're trying to detach from, there's no space for it. So instead of doing that thing, you're adding something else in. So instead of just going, I'm not going to do that thing.
It's like, oh no, I'm going to read 10 pages of a book.
Right. So when you're going to reach for that thing, you have something else in place of it already.
That's amazing. Mm-hmm. This is a podcast on habits.
I mean, but
that is so real and very effective. I love that.
When we're talking about Pisces season and we are talking about like ways to escape, because it makes a lot of sense that people would want to be doing that in this season, then yeah, it is helpful to be like, okay, what are the ways, paying attention to the ways that I do escape or I do try to, pull out, and are those ways healthy? And if they are not, what are some new like habits that I can start to cultivate?
I love that.
And because I know that we really want to talk about dreams, in this episode, creating space for us to be with self and be in a space where we can pay attention to our dreams, especially in this new moon space. Like, what is it? Where do we want to go? How do we want to grow? How do we want to expand? How do we want to move forward?
Yeah. And, with a new moon, this is a time to plant seeds. We are going to be in a Mercury retrograde too, as of March 14th.
It is coming.
But, just to go back to kind of like, okay, well, what do we do with this? Like, how do we practice at this time? Like, it makes me think about Ishvara Pranidhana, which is one of the niyamas of yoga, which is the surrender to the divine, which like to a higher power, which, for you, that can be anything. I always, whenever I'm teaching it, I'm like, that could be God, that could be nature, that could be your ancestors, that could be love. And sort of using our practice of devotion at this time to trust into our dreams, to trust into the practice itself, to surrender and kind of let ourselves be open to what might come when we let go a little bit. Because I think sometimes letting go can be scary because we don't know what's on the other side of it, which makes me think about aparigraha too, which is non-attachment. And it's like whenever we're letting go of something, we're creating a space for something new. And I don't know, I do think like this is a time to tap into something that keeps you connected to spirit, whatever that is for you. And you can do it by practicing yoga. You can do it by meditating. You can do it by having a moment to just yourself to be like, I'm going to let go right now. I'm going to be open right now.
Journaling or like affirmations or, there's, so many, I think, really positive ways to deepen our connection with that thing that is bigger than ourselves. It doesn't have to look the same for everybody. And I think that is it's such a powerful practice always, but especially during this time, during this Piscean time, is that right?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
But also during this time of just like what's happening in the world, like, again, it would be so easy to want to disconnect, but how like courageous to say, actually, nah, fuck that. That's what you want me to do.
Yeah.
But I'm actually going to tap in.
I'm going to actually double down.
I'm going to actually double down. Like,
Yeah.
instead of pulling out, I'm going to jump all the way in.
Yeah, and dive.
I'm going to dive deep.
Instead. And go in. I feel like sometimes that's the only way.
Yeah.
Because like sometimes if you're like putting a little toe in,
Yeah.
you're not going to get the result.
Yeah. I don't know. See what comes up, because I don't know. Like, I feel like when I do go all the way in and I am able to connect with that thing that is greater than self, that's when I receive the most amount of wisdom.
Yes. Have you ever had a moment, whether it's like in meditation, in yoga, or like even just like hiking or whatever it is, where you did like somehow tap into something where you were like, where did that come from? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. We're getting deep now.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's Pisces season, baby. It's like go big or go home, though.
Like that's what we're here for.
Yeah.
Baby, this is what you came for. I said that to Court last week when she took my class, and she was like, we did a lot. It was a lot. Because it's supposed to be like more of a hype.
No, it was a lot. It was a lot. And I was like, yeah, it was a lot. And she was like, yeah, this is what you came for.
And then I sang Rihanna.
Yeah. It was great. But no, this is what I mean, and that is the thing though. So if you are unafraid, if you're trying to get the messages from the universe, if you are ready for the call,
wait, the phone is ringing. I'm ready.
Then then dive in. Otherwise.
See, we're talking about social media. She was trying to find her notes. She wasn't scrolling, I swear.
I was literally trying to find. I don't know how it even got to that.
She was posting for our Instagram.
No, I was trying to find a quote.
Well, and I do think that's really funny that you were talking about, like, or not funny, but like...
No, it was funny too. Because I am funny.
You are always funny.
Thank you.
At the end of the day, soulful and funny.
Yes. And what else?
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Talented. Okay. We are sometimes going to be afraid to do things that we don't know. Like, that we don't know what's on the other side of them. We don't know all the time what we're doing. And I kind of feel like that to me is the essence of allowing yourself to dream a little bit, because you're dealing with something that is unknown and you've never done before. And rather than us kind of pushing away from that, I feel like go for it.
Welcome it. Invite it in.
Invite it in. And trust back into what we're saying, this greater powers that be that are going to support you. I do feel like the universe has supported me every time that I've said I'm going to jump out.
Shraddha. It's a Sanskrit word. It's one of my favorite words in yoga, and it was a contender for my tattoo. I actually got the word temporary tattooed instead. My body. She's funny. I got temporary tattooed on my body because it's a permanent tattoo. But actually, it's still temporary because it will only last as long as my body does, and
this body is temporary. You told them. How many times have you told that story?
So funny. She's so funny to me. Shit is so funny to me. And if it's only funny to me, that's all that matters because it's on my body. But Shraddha, it means faith or trust. And it's really that, Nat. It is having faith. Is having faith, but it's a little bit richer than that. It's having faith in something because you know that it has happened already.
Oh yeah, like it's grounded in something because I think we were talking about this before. It's sort of like if you keep practicing something, you build faith from the practice itself. Like if you have morning pages, like doing journaling in the morning, and you're eventually getting words coming up or things coming up that you're discovering, it's because you've been sitting down to write.
Yeah.
You know, which is free. Anybody can do that.
Yep. And so I just really love it because it feels like I have to trust in the work that I'm doing. I have to trust in the consistency of me showing up. And so even when I'm talking about this dreaming that I'm doing, there's a conviction to my dreams.
Yes. They're not just empty. They're rooted in something.
So the dream itself is also a practice.
You have to have your tapas with it.
Yes.
Which tapas to me, like I know people call it like the fire that gets you to practice the discipline. To me, tapas is also earth. Like to me, tapas is grounding. Because it's like, oh, well, I don't know if I really feel like showing up today, but I'm going to do it.
Because it's the austerity. It's like, okay, it's that commitment.
And so we get sort of that support from the universe. We get that faith by continuously showing up. Whatever that looks like. We have a quote.
Okay, I have a quote.
We have a quote. We love a quote. We do.
Sorry, but not you. I opened up my phone. I thought it was going to happen so serious. Oh. We have a quote. We have a quote. Wait.
I don't even know who I became when I said that. We got to put on the good glasses. Look how smart she is. Now you feel safe in this room.
Guys.
You're like, okay, I'm reassured.
Guys.
These are some intelligent
Guys,
people talking.
Natalie is an insane person.
Why do you say that?
No, that's a compliment.
Thank you.
Okay. I only fuck with insane people. If you're sane, don't come around me, please.
Oh, you're different. I think is what you said. Or you're like a lot.
You're different. I like it. Okay, this quote is from James Baldwin. Natalie sent it to me. And I think this is a nice way to kind of like move into a little bit of I want to ask Natalie what like she would offer as a practice for this new moon. Because I think that ultimately, again, what we want is a way to use our dreams to actively create change. Yeah?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So the James Baldwin, guys. The James Baldwin. The with 2 E's. Okay.
I love it.
Okay. Though we do not wholly believe it yet, the interior life is a real life, and the intangible dreams of people have a tangible effect on the world.
It's like you're combining that dreaming with some action. And how much, I mean, like, gosh, if we didn't have people dreaming up things, we wouldn't have anything.
We wouldn't have shit.
Like, literally, like, I mean, even us talking about yoga, it's like some people were like, okay, we're going to make this crazy shape with our bodies. We're talking about asana here, but like, right? Somebody came up with that. Someone came up with this dress. You know? And it's like, in order for you to come up with something like that, that's got to be taken into something that's affecting things. Like, you know, we're dreaming and then we're creating. I really feel like that's about creation.
And if we want to go even back a little bit, because we're talking about dreams, but even before that, we were talking about kind of channeling or just like being open, like connecting to the divine. Like if we want to even go back, like yoga, you know, it's said that yoga was like literally like smriti. It was smriti.
I don't know the word. What word are we saying? Sanskrit police gonna come for you. Oh, sorry. I'm like Rue, calling the police.
Call the police. That's the sound of the police. Well, okay.
Sorry.
Smriti. I think Smriti. Smriti.
Oh,
Shriti.
The R sound first. Yeah.
Don't act like shut.
Like, I don't have a 500-hour.
Natalie, stop.
Got a 200.
Okay, either way, it's what is heard, not what is seen, or what is heard. But anyways, I should know this. I teach the teachers, guys. These teachers that they're teaching you, they learned from me. So good luck.
Stop it. No, the self-deprecation.
They learned from me, so good luck. But either way, it's channeled, right? So even all the Vedas, like everything came from the divine. So there's still this connection. I guess what I'm saying is that like even yoga, something that is so profound, it was required for these sages to open up and receive these teachings from the divine. They had to be open. They had to be unafraid to sit in meditation and be open to receive these downloads.
That's right.
So like, there's so much, I mean, not saying, so you could be the next, if you sit in meditation, you might hold, the
keys to the universe.
The keys to the universe. The next Yoga Sutra of, Natalie, who knows?
As I like to say in class, fuck around and find out.
You might.
I don't know. Like, like sometimes,
actually,
I teach an arm balance in class. I'm like, you don't know if you're going to fall on your face. You don't know if you're going to slide off your arms. Like, but fuck around. Let's see.
And see.
And if you don't, then you know.
And then you know.
And everyone's like, wait, so I broke my nose? I'm like, yeah, now you know.
Now you know. But regardless, I guess what we're saying is that like you have to be open. You have to try. You have to see. You have to be willing to see first.
So to talk about like, it makes me think about Arjun in the Bhagavad Gita, who's like the warrior. He's going out to go and fight this battle. And he's like, what if I lose? Or what if I win? Like, then what? And, the sage is saying to him, well, you just have to go out and do the thing. And you don't know what the outcome is going to be, but we go and we show up fully. And I do feel like that's a metaphor for all of life. I mean, obviously that book is such a big book, full of metaphor. And I do feel like that could be sort of a theme for this time. And just to think about, a new moon time, I always tell people, like, this is the time to connect to a quiet space. This is a time to be in the void. This is the time to float in the unknown. So if you think about the universe, when it was created, when everything was quiet and still, and then the Big Bang happened. Like, the creation happened out of the stillness. The creation doesn't happen necessarily when we're jamming things in our heads. It happens when the mind is free. So I feel like going into this season, or especially if you're listening around the new moon right now, lean into letting yourself be in the deepest water that you can imagine, where you are quiet and it's like at the dark bottom of the ocean where you don't know what's going to happen next. Like, don't stuff your brain with other things just for a few days. And if, in fact, I think it'd be a great time to freely journal, to freely draw, to do any sort of writing, if anything comes to you. But I don't think it should be a time to force that. That's my 2 cents.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
I just feel like allowing yourself to dream, quite literally, to dream or to sit in meditation and find ways to connect with the divine or whatever that is for you. So if it's, if it's going to the spa, if that's something that is accessible for you, or if it's just, lying
touching grass.
Touching grass, laying, like touching grass.
Touching grass.
Yeah. Going out. It's been in LA, it's been like kind of drizzling. So like, well, I guess maybe it won't be by the time this airs.
Well, hopefully it will be.
Maybe it will be, because it's a rainy season. It is a rainy season, so it might
God
be.
willing.
So maybe
touch grass with your feet.
Because of the Pisces. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like touch the earth with your feet.
Take a bath, maybe.
Oh, yeah. Take a bath is good right now.
Yeah. Or just like let the water fall over you in the shower. Put on some like good jams, just maybe have a little dance party in your home, like just ways that you can feel like free.
Yeah.
And then,
do you want to read this part here? This was something that you had said. Where does your mind go? Do you want to close with that?
Okay. I'll close with this.
Okay.
The where does your mind go part?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, where does your mind go when you're feeling sweet and warm? Sweet, safe, and hopeful, and pay attention to what swirls around. And then go deeper. And then go deeper.
And go deeper. And just go as deep as you can. Mm-hmm. Thanks so much.
Happy Pisces season.
Happy Pisces season. Make sure that you follow us on IG and Blue Sky. We also, just so you know, we have a playlist in the show notes, and we're going to pop a couple of new moon journal prompts into these show notes. So if you want to get on there and do some new moon journaling, feel free to do that.
And also, we didn't say this on our last episode, but I would like to just mention it. Nat and I, we are astrology enthusiasts and we love astrology, but we are by no means like astrologers.
We're not professional astrologers. Yeah. I'm sorry.
So like, I think also in the show notes, we might pop in a few, astrologers
that we love.
If you are interested in getting into the nitty gritty of astrology. And so, we'll throw that in there as well.
Yeah, we're yoga teachers.
Yeah, we're yoga teachers that love astrology.
We love it, and so we use it.
Yeah.
But we can relate. I feel like what's important is we relate it to the yoga, what's going on in the stars with the yoga stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bye. That's it. Bye.
The Universe Called podcast with Natalie Burtney and Courtney Sauls. Filming and editing by John Meyer. Theme music by Chit Cray, Studio Inertia. Special thanks to Donna and Robbie Falks.